city, this franchise, this fan base means the world to me. Because Pittsburgh's my world, and it's just awesome to be back here.
So, first of all, Mike, congratulations.
Thank
and
you.
What is it like to be the head coach of the Pittsburgh Steelers?
Oh, wow. Surreal. I know I keep saying that, but it's it's numbing to a point. But just to grow up here and, the great teams of the 70s. The 70s was, such a great decade. 4 Super Bowls, and you had the Pirates winning 2 World Series. Pitt won a national championship in 76. So, Pittsburgh is just a, huge part of, who I am and how I was raised, with my parents, right there in the, in the neighborhood of Greenfield. So it's amazing on so many different levels. The professional opportunity is incredible. I'm obviously very much in tune with, the way the Rooneys, operate. To think that you have the opportunity to work for Art Rooney is, you got to pinch yourself. So, but to be home personally too is just I feel like it was meant to be, frankly.
So, a whirlwind, right? You fly in, you go over, you sign the contract, you come over, you talk to the press. So, what's it been like?
It was great. To have your family there, obviously my parents and my kids, and that could get here, and so it tugs at you without a doubt. But at the end of the day, I'm a football coach. I am really looking forward to getting started. I know what this team means to the fan base. I know how passionate it is back here. I'm excited to wear the black and gold. It's what I grew up on.
How about the support of former players, current players showing up as well?
That was outstanding, and just for them to show up, that means a lot. See Mel Blount. Geez, God, could you imagine going against those receivers still today? It's just, definitely to see Joey Porter. I haven't seen Joey in a while, and to see Junior there too, and I thought that was awesome, and Alex and all those guys. So
you were asked during the press conference about your desire to coach again. What was the process like leading up to the interviews?
To be honest with you, my desire to coach again, frankly, never left. If you would see my home office, I think you'd understand, just my process. I have a book from every game I coached in since 1989. I have a library that's extensive. Frankly, I went back and looked at some things from 2010 offensively that I may go back to, just as far as variations of scheme, because scheme in our game it's an evolving. I've always looked at it that way, and it's important that to stay on the front end of the scheme variations come in our league and they go back out. So just doing things like that. So I always stayed in it. It's not that I was away, but I'm really proud of the family time that I spent because I think all coaches, and I know myself, could have done a better job of that in my earlier years. So my 2 youngest are 14 and 17. So just the time that I've had specifically with them has been a blessing.
What is your general assessment of the Steelers roster?
It's a playoff roster. How many playoff teams come open to a new head coach? And so that's the way I view it. But it's really how do you move the needle? That's something I'm always looking for. How do you move the needle of the men in that locker room? So we'll do a hell of a job to bring together a 90-man roster. Be it super competitive. I'm a big believer. My career reflects that of draft, develop, and retain. I think the second contract of your players is reflective of what your program's doing and how you're moving that along. So I'm looking forward to adding a hell of a draft class. I'm excited about having 2 extra weeks in the off-season program and getting to know these guys, number one, but just make sure we're setting the course, to train and compete, and when we get to week 1, we'll be ready to go.
Omar Khan and his staff, the last 3 drafts that he's been in charge of, have really invested a lot in the offensive and defensive lines. Does that align with your own philosophies?
Love it. Love it. I think it's just you don't have to go any further than the playoff teams. You can't win any of these games without winning in the trenches. Because the trenches set up everything. So I don't think you can have enough linemen. You can't really have enough players, as we know. But the game changes when you lose guys up front, and they're hard to find. Especially you get into November, December. So, but I don't think you're going to have enough offensive and defensive linemen.
You've worked with a lot of great quarterbacks. You've also had success with quarterbacks whose resumes aren't Hall of Fame resumes. Art Rooney identified getting you to help develop the next quarterback is an important thing for the Steelers. Regardless of who you're working with, a veteran or a younger player who you're trying to develop, how important is that for you?
I mean, it's super important, and frankly, that's my foundation. Developing quarterbacks, and I can't wait to work with Will Hyatt. It's important to have a complete understanding of who he is, where he is, and what his starting point, and the fact he's going into year 2. I love that. I love getting guys in their first or second year, because I felt that's where my experience has been. You can make the biggest impact, and I look back at the guys that I was able to work with them in the first and second year. I take a lot of pride in what we were able to accomplish and what they've done moving on from there. Because it's just like anything, whether you're playing or coaching. To have people that can build a foundation with. I mean, if you look at my career at Pitt, the coaches that I was able to work with as an assistant, I mean, it's multiple head coaches in the NFL. Most of all of our staff at Pitt went to the NFL. So, and then now the same thing. I get into the league and be able to work with these quarterbacks. I'm 28, 29 years old, and I'm in my first quarterback rooms. Joe Montana and Dave Craig. I mean, I think they were 38 and 37. I mean, it was incredible. I mean, I couldn't take notes fast enough. So, just the experiences that I've been able to learn from, and that's where where I am in my life. I try to give that back to the coaches and the players that I work with now.
Mike, thank you. Congratulations.
It was great meeting you.
Appreciate it.
Thank you
as well.
Thank you.